and welcome back to Anti-Depressing. This is the show where we talk about everything from liturgy
to Lexapro. Hello, friends. We're so happy to be here as usual. Welcome, 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 welcome to Illyria.
Welcome to Illyria.
And if you have not seen
have you here to
She's
say
the
welcome.
Man, I just want to have you here to say welcome. If you have not seen She's the Man, it is time for you to watch
No,
it.
Chenele, the number of times we've done that in our intro, it should actually just be part of our intro until someone tries to sue us. Because I'm not worried about no small fry like us.
No
We
small
can say
fry.
it.
Yeah, we're just like
that should be our opening song.
Little fish in a pond. Speaking of little fish in a big pond, Jasmyn, how are you swimming through the tides and waves of life?
Is getting so beautiful.
How are you doing?
I'm loving this. My how I'm doing is going to come in 2 parts today.
Okay.
Both of which I have not told you yet, so they're very exciting. My first, actually, when you were talking about highs and lows of life, reminded me of kind of the craziest thing happened to me the other day when I was on a Zoom call. Not a place that you expect a crazy thing to happen to you. And so I feel I need to share it because it felt monumental. If you're out there in the throes of Zoom calls, sometimes something fun can happen. Okay. And this is a story of hope because this is anti-depressing.
Okay.
The other day I was on a Zoom call for the Pathways to Communion grant that Alive and You outreach is a part of. And in it, this guy who works for the grant, kind of oversees some of our stuff, was telling this story about how ministry sometimes can feel like you're like slipping and falling on a path and the path is not smooth and you like need other people to help you along. It can be really challenging. And as he was explaining this and like the different parts you can be on in your journey with ministry, he shared an image of this rosary walk at this certain retreat house in Illinois. And as I was looking at it, I was like, I know that retreat house and I know that rosary walk because this summer we sent teens to serve there during Alive and You, and they fixed up the rosary path and like the rosary walk. And so it was so crazy because my initial imagery when I was thinking about it, because he was like, picture yourself on the path. I was like, oh, I'm definitely, because it was like muddy in his picture. I was like, I'm definitely just like perpetually falling because it's just so hard. Like we're all kind of drowning. If you're doing ministry, it's like you never feel like you have enough support, and then you're like falling, you're leaning on each other, and then someone's like picking you back up and being like, we can take a couple more steps, but like Jesus is always in the center of that, and you're like falling and I was like there with it. And then when I realized like, oh, I did the work sites for that, and it was actually, it's at the, this place, the Slovenian center that we hosted a camp at years ago.
Wow, yeah.
It's the retreat house that's like right there, and that like rosary walk that's behind it. And I was like, oh, I know this place. And we had teens fix it up. And so it was super cool because I was like, I'm in the imagery. It's like, we're like slipping and falling, but then like our teens fix that path. And I was like, there's something so beautiful right there within that metaphor, within that analogy. And I was just so touched. And so that is something I've been really thinking about this week.
That's
and
kismet.
just coming back to, because I was like, I needed that reminder.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my second how am I is I think I'm going to start making sourdough bread.
Okay. I
just thought this was the right place to tell you.
Okay.
Because I wanted your unfiltered reaction live.
Okay. I mean, hey.
What are your initial thoughts?
I'm going to eat it because it's going to be delicious.
Yeah,
it's going to be delicious. And I know you're going to be really good at it because you're exceptionally good at like baking things. So I know you're going to be really good at it.
What are your thoughts?
I know you, so I know you're not going to become woo-woo. So my fear is that you just become woo-woo. But
okay.
know that you will not.
I just want to like eat the bread.
Yeah, but I know you want to eat. Yeah. I know you. I just want to. You just want to partake in the loaf, and not the woo-woo adjacent behavior.
It's not about like the community necessarily,
Yeah, but I will say though.
There is a strong sourdough community though. Does your mom want sourdough?
My mom is a loaf cake. She's part of the loaf cake community. So she
Are they also intense?
Yes. So she makes loaf cakes, butter cakes, all the cakes of
I'm into
that
that too.
demo. And she's
Okay.
in 3 Facebook groups.
Oh,
And she is very much in the community, and she has a whole
okay.
album of just her loaf cakes. So I will
Love
say
her.
that once you start making sourdough bread,
You
I
kind of
do
fixate.
believe you will become in the sourdough bread group, the discard group, the
Yes, yeah, that's so true because I just
yeah.
breathed the thought of sourdough, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden my whole For You page on Instagram is sourdough, which honestly, what a cleanse. It's nice. I'm not mad because I've got like I did start like a little post collection on Instagram reels of sourdough stuff. So I do fear I'm already in too deep without even having starter, but it all
Uh-huh.
happened because like last year one of the moms that I'm friends with was like, "You should just take some of my starter and just see." And I was like, "No, no, no.
Yeah.
I like don't have time for that." And then
Yeah.
last week was like a really normal week for us and really consistent schedule wise and was like, "I think I could
Nice.
do this."
Yeah.
Because why not like add something into the mix, you know?
Why not? Yeah, yeah.
Why not?
Mhm.
Things felt a little too calm, so I'll keep you guys posted, but I'm feeling very excited about the potential because yeah, I don't know.
My immediate reaction was very judgmental, and I do apologize for
Wait,
that.
no, I needed
I
that. And honestly, you're going to love eating the bread. And I
I
know
am gonna
that.
l
I'm not
no,
worried.
I'm really gonna eat it. I'm
But
gonna
also,
eat
if
it,
I
and I'm
never
gonna
make a
love it.
loaf,
Mhm. No,
I'm just saying I'm interested.
I'll also be like, "That's okay." But, like, I mean, all I'm saying is that I will keep you accountable to
Thank you.
because the sourdough to woo-woo pipeline is
The
very
sourdough to chickens to living off the land
it is
and
very
farming and
it's
like
very
building a
fast.
bunker, it's quick.
It's
It
very
does
quick.
slip very fast.
So I
And I
just
am like, if I had more land, I would have chicken. Like I know who I am and who I could become. I know.
and if you did, I would also be like, "Oh, cute," and I would come over and I would
But
eat
you also
the
would like live
chickens
on
you
my
have.
homestead. So you
Yeah,
would
I would
benefit,
live
you
and I
know.
would be like, "Whatever." And when you make the bread, I will eat it when I come
I
over
know
to
you'd be part
Wisconsin.
of
You
it.
live in the land of the freshest butter and milk and
I know.
cheese
Can you
of the world.
imagine?
So, like, when you make it, it's going to be delicious and it's
No, because
going to
that bread with then like the goat cheese on it.
so, like, in a way, my
I
reaction was
know.
very judgmental, but I am gonna eat it.
I
So,
know.
I'm very
But that's
happy for you.
essentially how I am. So tell me about how you are doing.
Well, now I am, like, just really wanting some sourdough bread.
I know I'm
I
so
did
hungry now.
I
I'm
was
so
like, I and you know what? I do need to start researching starters because I am very curious because people talk about sourdough
Mhm.
starters and how they have starters from, like, hundreds of years ago, and
Yeah,
I'm
you
like,
have to get one that from a long time ago. But there apparently what people have told me is
yeah.
now you can get like 100-year-old ones that people will dehydrate and send to you and then you just rehydrate it so you don't have to like have a connection
Ah,
to someone. But pretty much
mm,
like I feel like one in every 5 people is making sourdough. I just feel like
yeah,
there's so many so
yeah.
I feel like you could get starter from someone. You know, like
Okay,
you could find someone.
because I've seen on Etsy people selling sourdough starter from,
Yeah,
like,
people do it.
150
Mhm.
years ago, so I'm like, I
Yeah, it's
feel like
crazy.
it's, like, really something. So I'm excited to hear this journey.
Thank you.
I am not making bread. However, I did get my 2nd ever chemical peel, a week
Gosh.
ago. So
Okay, tell me about that
I'm on
experience.
my journey of making I am getting older. And as I'm becoming more decrepit, I'm thinking to myself, I want to age really well. And I realize
Yeah,
that not only does that mean that I need to drink water, I need to work out,
me
whatever.
too.
It also
Mhm.
means that, like, there's a baseline for me. This is for me. So for all the baddies that are listening that are like, I don't do these things. Am I missing something? Absolutely not. There is a
No, you're
baseline
fine.
for me that
Mhm.
helps me to feel comfortable with myself,
Yeah.
um, to where, okay, I have like a haircut, I feel good. I have a baseline, my eyebrows are like kind of touched, like I've shaped them, I feel good. I can like, uh-oh, time to take my medicine. I can like exist in a world and be okay. So I was kind of like researching things because I've been super into like facial preservation, aging well, making sure I'm like wearing hecka sunscreen, all that stuff. And
Yes.
so
Yep.
then I was looking at some spots on my face and I was like, that's totally fine. I'm fine with it, whatever. And then I talked to this girl who did my facial one time and she was like, did you know if you get chemical peels, it will lift these dark spots from your face? And so I have totally I first got like a little baby chemical peel for everyone out there that has gotten one. They essentially like rub acid or spread acid on your face. And
That
then
sounds so scary.
then it like goes a little into your skin. And then if you get a superficial one, your skin just like flakes a little bit and then it reveals new skin under and it's nice. Then you can get a medium one, which is like it goes a little bit more into your skin and your skin essentially like sheds a little bit. And that's that. Or you can get a deep one, which essentially looks like you're taking off a mask and you're a murderer. So I had a medium one last week and I'm on my way. And next week is my third peel. So I
Oh,
think by next
fun.
summer, you guys, I'm going to have a designer face.
That's wild.
And
When
so
is your
yeah,
one next week? Because like when we record next week, are you gonna have like a raw skin? Like how deep are we going?
you know what? So I think I'm going to still stay medium because of my skin tone. My esthetician was like, I do not want you to go too deep because it might
Yeah.
just mess up your skin. So I'm going to go
Yeah.
medium.
Okay.
And so next week, my facial is on, or my chemical peel is on Saturday. So I'll check
Okay.
in and let you guys know how I'm doing. So the best time to get chemical peels, if you're thinking about it, is during the winter time when it is not blazing hot outside because you technically cannot be in the sun and you cannot sweat or do anything outrageous. So
How are you doing that in Florida?
yeah, so that part. So I was out in the sun last week because I did have
Okay.
to pull a bunch of weeds at my house. And I feel like I definitely, the thing is that your skin just becomes really sensitive. So
Yeah. So just
I definitely
yeah.
feel like my face was on fire during burning weeds,
Yeah,
which
that's
was not a
brutal.
good
Okay.
choice. But you
Got
know
it.
what? We're making it work. So besides getting another chemical peel, I have just been vibing, working,
There
eating,
you go.
hanging out. And my mom and I drive to work every day. So that's a new update. We drive to
That
work
is
every day
so
together.
cute.
And I love it because she's my everything to me. So,
I
yep.
love that. Do you guys like listen to music? Do you listen to podcasts? Do you just chat about the upcoming day? How is everyone?
Usually we listen to music, we'll chat. I will tell her that I'm going to die before her. She spent the whole ride home today telling me that I need to stop talking about that. So that's
Yeah, that's
essentially
kind
it.
of a really sad thing to say to your mom, but yeah,
Yes.
kind of just the worst thing you could possibly say, but that's fine.
So she said the same thing. And so essentially,
I'll
I
tell
also
her.
told her, speaking of mental health, I also said, hey, but mom, when you pass at the age of 120, when God wills it,
Minimum, yeah.
which will be at minimum at the age of 120, I will have to be admitted to a facility. So it's good, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen, know your mental limitations because I
no
know
way.
myself and I know that I will write a letter to my 5 dear friends saying, do not believe me, admit me to a facility because I will not be well. So
Yeah, that's
essentially,
so true.
that's been my conversation with my mom for the past like week. So is Chanel doing okay? I don't know, maybe. Does Chanel's mom hate to have this conversation every single day on the way to work? Absolutely. So essentially that's it. That's how
What
I'm
if you
doing.
just like enjoyed the moments on the ride to work together for what they are at face value instead of like, talking about when you won't be able to do that anymore? You know what I mean?
She did say the
But that's just a
same
thought.
thing. No, she did say the same thing. And speaking of that, I feel that I am correct. So, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally valid to feel
So
that way.
that's how I'm doing. So, yeah.
Okay, love it. Thank you for the updates.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Jasmine,
Speaking of
I
things that
would
are not
love,
sad, wait,
yeah.
I need some antidepressant Catholic news before
Yeah,
anything.
I would love to. I would love to share for antidepressant Catholic news. The boss, also known as Springsteen, Bruce, if you're not, no,
Bruce.
I was gonna say Bruce, if you're crazy. He was talking about how he would not be the songwriter that he is without his faith. And you might be thinking, who the heck is Bruce Springsteen? Well, let me just make
are you crazy?
I know. Let me just make sure that I give you the best perspective. So you know his songs.
Nice.
You might know, and I don't know the words, so I'm about to embarrass myself, but you might know, even if we're just dancing in the dark. Okay, so you know that one. You also know, born in the USA, I was born. Okay, so that's Bruce. So he is a songwriter extraordinaire. He talked about how the faith really influences his songwriting. Particularly, he talks about how he uses imagery and Catholic language like sinners, promised land, and redemption into a lot of his lyrics. Also, he does end a lot of his concerts with the Our Father, and describes his band as a communion of
adorable.
souls. Yeah, and
very cute.
Yeah, and recent songs like All God's Children shows how themes of struggle, hope, and belonging are tied to his Catholic imagination. Now, does Bruce still practice? Absolutely not. But he still touts his faith as a really pivotal thing in his life that helps influence a lot of what he produces and gives to the world. So for that, I thought that was pretty good news. And Bruce is also coming out with a movie soon, with the guy from The Bear, whose name I cannot remember, who's going to be Bruce Springsteen. And you might be wondering, he's coming out with a movie. Did he die? No, he's alive. And the movie is being filmed, and Bruce Springsteen did go to the set and was like, this is good. And people asked him about it, and he was like, yeah, I guess a movie's being made about me. So Bruce Springsteen is very chill. He's very chill. He's a cool songwriter. And, he's kind of down with the Catholics a little bit. So
yeah,
I'll take that as good news.
I will take that as good news. I do feel he could be one of those people that, right pre-deathbed or something is like, you know what? Bring me to a church. Bring a priest here. I think it's there. I think he feels it. It's interesting. Maybe. It's interesting to know why people are like, I get it and I feel it enough that it's influencing my music, that I'm praying with it in my concerts, that I'm calling my band to Communion of Saints. Like, the imagery of the Catholic faith is obviously following you and is a part of your life, but you're still but I'm actually not gonna go into the church. It's an interesting line that people walk, but I feel we'll pray for you, Bruce. We'll pray for a little further push in the direction.
We'll pray
that your heart just feels called to, or wherever it feels called to. But all in all, cool to hear someone who's such a big deal, such a heartthrob of our parents' generation, I feel, and above. Just talking openly about the faith, always good.
Yeah, always good. And so thank you, Brucey.
Thank you, Bruce. If you want to be on a podcast, we're available.
Amen. And I pray that God gives you many more years, especially so you can produce a Santa Claus is Coming to Town 2, because you also might know Bruce because he sings the most raw version of Santa Claus is Coming to Town that you've
deep
ever
from the
heard.
Heart.
It is very guttural. It's very intense. Whenever you listen to it, it's very Santa Claus. It's very
and
intense.
You're yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is coming
honestly,
to town.
I want a whole Christmas album, but in that tone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want I'll be home for Christmas.
Yeah.
But that.
Yeah.
I want Baby Please Come Home, but that. I want everything in that version.
I pray that God gives him more years so he can provide another one of those. So we love you, Bruce.
So true.
Thanks for the Catholic shout out.
Bruce.
Much love. Thanks for the good music because we love it. And
we love to hear it. Are you ready to dance?
I would love to jig.
Ooh, that was crazy. You ready? Oh. Can you hear me? Can you hear it?
Yes, I could absolutely hear it. I was getting in my
Cannot
zone.
figure this out.
Love how
I
you're
was
like,
like,
can you
is it
hear me?
playing?
Can you hear it?
Because when you
Yes.
click on it, it's like, do you want to do the preview or the live? So I started and then I switched and we're dancing and we're stopping, but I hope everyone's still in the mood
And for
for
everyone
some
listening,
stories.
you're like, lady, just play the freaking
Just push
track.
the button, girl.
And we got it.
She tried her
So
best.
for our
She
first
tried her best.
story, we're talking about how the internet is a little divided. I want to hear your thoughts on this because I have thoughts myself as a single
Okay.
person, but you as
Okay.
someone that is actually in a relationship that is healthy, you probably are leaps and bounds.
Sure.
Okay, so the internet is a little divided. There are two questions that people have been saying kind of rate the compatibility potential, the compatibility, and just the dedicatedness that you have to another person. Number
Ooh.
one, do you have to follow up on date plans that were made days in advance?
Okay, so like context. So if your
So
significant other was
context.
planning a date, yeah, give
Someone
me
asked me
more.
out,
Give me
right?
more.
Someone asked me out. They say, Chanel, I want to go out with you. I want to wine and dine you. Okay. Let's meet at Carrabba's 2 p.m. Friday. Great.
Okay.
It's now Wednesday afternoon. Does that person need to follow up with me about Carrabba's at 2 p.m. on Friday afternoon?
Okay. I think it depends when they made this plans. If they made the
Mm.
plans on Tuesday, then no, on Wednesday they do not need to follow up with you about Friday.
Plans were made
But
the Saturday before.
okay, the Saturday before, then I think at minimum Thursday there needs to be like a so excited to see you tomorrow. Do you want to meet there? Or should I pick you up? Because first of all, why are you meeting at Carrabba's? Why aren't you picking this person up? Do you know what I mean? Like, why aren't you picking this person up? That's crazy.
My sisters would tell me to dream
people
bigger.
Are creepy.
Yes.
But like, come on.
Yeah.
Chivalry cannot be that dead. You're meeting at come on. And I'm not saying Carrabba's isn't romantic because you and I know the affinity we share for Carrabba's. That's ideal first date night locations. More ideal above that is Olive Garden all you can eat, but that's a conversation for another day.
Another day. Long.
What I think is, yes, you need to be sending a so excited to see you tomorrow, whatever, text. Like, or making sure we're still on, whatever. Because if it's Friday night and is this a first date? That's
this
another
is a first
question.
date.
If it's Friday morning and we're going on a first date and I hadn't talked to you since Saturday, I would be like, are you showing up? Or am I going to get ghosted?
Okay,
era of ghosting, I would be afraid that someone wasn't going to show up.
Got it. So you are saying it is not aggressive to text someone, say that you're excited to see them.
Yeah.
And before the date.
Yeah, so that they know it's still on. Because I would get in my head and be like, he forgot about me. But that's just my thoughts.
But that is where people are divided. Because people are like, hey, if someone asked you out, made plans, they said, hey, we're meeting this time, this place. Work is busy. Life is busy. So is it on the person that asked you out to absorb the like, this person forgot about me vibe? Or is it on you to just be like, hey, this person made plans. That's cool. I'll just text them before and be like, hey, I'm on my way. Like, do we just need to have more of a lackadaisical hands-off approach when we're asking people out and less of a feeling like we have to connect and touch point, even though you don't even know the person? Now, I'm not saying that's where I stand. I'm saying
no, I do
where the
appreciate
division
perspective.
is. Yeah.
But I also think if someone can't put in a minute of effort before your date, they're not ready to put in any effort into a relationship. Like, work is busy, whatever. But are you going to have time for me, or are you going to have time for me, period?
Whoa.
But I also am not so like, men have to do everything, that I don't think that like if it's a guy who asked you out, I don't think it's like, you should never text him to confirm the day. I think that's like kind of insane because people do have weird things happen in their life. And so if I'm imagining I'm you in this scenario. Okay. Cause, as a resident single lady, tell me if this is crazy, but I feel like if he texted you on Saturday, made the plans, first of all, in this era, in your experience with online dating, him making a plan, we're leaps and bounds above what we've experienced so far, correct? Okay. So he texts you, he makes the plan. Thursday night for you to be like, excited to see you tomorrow. Not crazy. I don't think that's crazy. I don't think that's too much for you to have to do. I think it's like, it is a lot to put yourself out there
Mm.
and not seem creepy asking a girl out on a date as a dude sometimes. And so it was like he put himself out there. I don't think it's like bad for you to extend the olive branch and do like a excited to see you and make sure everything's still on. I don't think that's crazy.
Okay.
I think
And
most ideal he does it first.
most
Second
ideal.
ideal, just do it anyways.
Most ideal, he
I don't
does it
think it's
first.
crazy.
Second ideal,
Yeah.
you do it. It is
Yeah.
a good boost for the dude or the lady. You're asking out
Yes. And
dudes,
then
hey, good
he
for you.
knows
You
you're
might need a boost.
excited. Like, why
Yeah,
wouldn't you want someone to know you're excited to see them? That's crazy.
because
What?
people
Just
are
let them
saying it's
know.
giving intense.
I know. And people are so like, oh, it's too intense. It's too love bomby. Girl, who doesn't like when someone loves them? Like, stop the nonsense.
Doesn't
Stop
like a
the
good bomb.
nonsense.
I love a
Because
good bomb.
because the crazy thing is people use love bomb for everything. Like the whole whatever that show is called. Love Island thing. It was like everyone's love bombing. I'm
Love
like, love
bomb.
bombing by definition is like you're trying to tell someone you love them when you do not, in order to or when you maybe kind of do, in order to manipulate them into doing what you want. Like that's what it is. It's not like in the beginning of a relationship, someone really likes you. And so they buy you a lot of flowers and they pursue you like maybe seemingly aggressively because they're just excited and they know that you are like the prize and they want to pursue that and they like want to lock you down before someone takes you, and not because they're like, oh, I'm going to trap them or I do, like not in a gross way, like just
Yeah.
because they actually know that you're worth it. And like those things used to be cute and now everybody's like, I don't know, I think he's trying to love bomb me. It's like, well, maybe he's just actually nice. I don't know. I'm going to say something. Maybe he's nice. Maybe he's nice.
I mean, the controversy of it all is that, and I'm going to say something, is that most of us just can't handle someone that's kind.
You can't believe it.
And
because you haven't experienced it. It's not your fault.
And I am a victim of what I am saying. I am a perpetrator, shall I say, because the minute a man is nice to me, immediate, one chemical peel eyebrowed up, immediately scared, immediately
like, why
nervous.
would you be nice to me? What is it? Not thinking like, oh, maybe it's because I'm worthy of someone being nice to me and like treating me this way. Maybe it's because like I am worth that level of energy and intention and pursuit. Couldn't be me. Just a thought.
Couldn't be me.
So if he's texting you,
so if he's texting you before your date, essentially the summary of it all is that he is probably plotting your demise, and you should be weirded out by it.
He might just be into you. He might also be weird, but you won't know unless you go to the date and he shows up in a train conductor hat. And that is the truth.
You did not just do that.
So sorry.
You did not just do that on a recorded line. Anyway, friends, I have had some weird dates, and we're going to leave that right there. We're going to leave that right there.
I love
Jasmyn, you. I love you too. So Jasmyn, for our second question here, that is dividing the internet, is also testing the loyalty of people that you love. Should you always pick up arriving family members at the airport?
Yes, is my short answer to that.
Okay.
That you do. Now, I think there are like exceptions. Are you in the middle of your workday and you don't have PTO? Then like if they can wait till 5, or they should have planned their thing better. But also as an arriving family member, I also think there's like you can offer an Uber. How far do you live from the airport? There's a lot of nuances here. But I think my short answer is like, yeah, they're your family. You pick them up from the airport.
Okay. Is it the end of this? I feel like that debate is a little old school, because I feel like picking someone up from the airport, again, there are too many variables. if
There's
does this
so
person
many.
live by public transport? You have siblings that live in Chicago. Is that
Yeah.
like, okay, can you just hop on the train and meet me closer to my house? Is this like,
Yes.
am I gonna have to traverse through the friggin' like downtown Manhattan to go get you? Is
Mhm,
this
mhm.
like I'm driving through Los Angeles, or can you take 3 bus stops and meet me closer and
Yes.
I'll pay for the ticket? Is this
Well,
like
in the family member landing, like, is it one person that, like, get on an Uber, get on a train, or is it like if me and my husband and my 3 kids land at the airport?
mm,
Oh, yeah, we have, like, car seats to think about. We have whatever first of all, like,
yeah.
we're driving or we're renting a car, like, whatever. But,
First of
in my
all, nobody's
hypothetical
yeah.
world where, like, we need room, we need car seats, then, like, okay,
Yeah.
that's, like, more of a, like, I'll pick you up, let's figure out car seats, let's whatever. But, like, if you're one person, you're pretty
Mm.
flexible. You
You're
can,
pretty
like, you know what I mean?
flexible.
Like, you can kinda like, if I'm traveling by myself, then I'm like, "Man, I'll Uber, I'll whatever," like, I'll figure it out because, like, that's kind of simpler. But if you're like, I don't know, like when we were in Florida, it's like we lived an hour from the Orlando airport. Like, I'm not asking anybody to pay like $200 Uber to
You're
get
catching
to the
yeah.
beach,
I'll pick
because
you
it's
up.
crazy expensive to go on that one. So, like, I'll drive in, we'll do something fun in Orlando, we'll go home,
Yeah.
And so I think it just kind of also depends on your situation. There's too many variables here. But the
There's too many
short answer
variables.
is you shouldn't assume someone who's paying money to fly to come visit you should also then take like the Uber, the whatever to get further closer to you. I feel
And
like if
that's the
they're
word.
taking their time to come visit you, just pick them up. Just
Just
plan
pick
to.
them up. Just pick them up.
Yeah.
And if that's
No,
not a
that's serious.
conversation you've had that is different, if you're like if you're not picking them up, if you haven't had a conversation as to why, then
Yeah. Maybe give
maybe
them some
you
context here.
should, because the
Mhm,
context
mhm.
is important. And I
It
do
is.
think that picking even like, okay, picking up your siblings versus
Yep.
picking up your aunt you haven't seen or don't really talk to versus picking up your mom and dad that you maybe have a good relationship with. Who knows?
Yeah.
There's so many variables. And honest to God, as we're all older too, it's okay to set those boundaries and be like, you know what? I'll hook it up. Also, is your family member like 100 years old? Is the Uber app going to be a nightmare
Yeah.
for them
It's
and for
so
you?
true.
There's so many variables. So, to that I say, know your limits, know your boundaries. If you don't want to drive through the hellscape of traffic to go get a family member, that's okay. Because if you explain it to them and they get really mad at you, then they probably shouldn't be visiting you. And if you explain
There
to
it
them
is.
and they're fine with it, then they're probably someone you want to hang out with anyway. So, that is that. I wish I had a gavel.
That's that.
So, that is
You
that.
do need one.
I do need one. For our second story, we're going
Yes.
to talk about something that has been rocking the internet. Now,
Okay.
Nick Cannon, who we all remember from Drumline and all shows that we have watched when we were younger, he was featured in a lot of Nickelodeon shows. He's the host of America's Got Talent, or he was before Terry Crews or after Terry Crews. But
Okay.
he is the host of America's Got Talent, I think currently. He was recently on The Breakfast Club, which is a radio show, and he was talking about how his decisions to father his children, this is according to NBC News, um, he might have done things differently, knowing what he has learned in therapy about how childhood trauma can affect adult behavior. Quote,
Mm.
if I would have did, LOL, the work and the healing, I probably would have took my time in a lot of other scenarios, he said. Things might have been a
Hmm.
little different. A lot of it is the trauma that I was experiencing of not knowing how to handle divorce. He got divorced from Mariah Carey. He said, I'm like, oh, I'm the man now. And instead of healing and doing what I should have actually did, I just jumped out there. However, he did emphasize
Sure
the
did.
importance. He said, all kids are a blessing, yada, yada, yada. He talked
Well,
about how
that's good.
30 from 30, he had no kids. When he was 40, he had 12 kids,
Oh my
12
gosh.
children.
In 10 years.
Golden Sagon, Powerful Queen, Rise
Mm.
Messiah,
Oh.
Onyx Ice, uh, Zion Zillion, Beautiful Zeppelin, Zen, and Halo Marie, Legendary Love, and Zillionaire. So I really think
Oh, no.
And Zeppelin. I really think that, and that's not even all of them, and I really think that this
Yeah.
conversation about him addressing the fact that maybe he should have addressed his trauma before having all these kids is really
Mhm.
good, because I think a lot of people were like, "Nick, are you okay?" as he was having all these kids. But he just kept saying, "I just love kids." And I think it's
Yeah.
good that he was like, "Hey, you guys, actually, I was very traumatized and I never addressed it, so I had kids." And I think there's a lot of people out there that are acting through trauma that might need to just sit, and it might not be having 12 kids, but it might be something that you might just need to acknowledge something you're going through before you make a decision that you can't take back. So, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, there's a lot of density in here. I mean, maybe you're not Nick Cannon who had 5 children in 2022
Yeah.
alone, but I do think it's interesting as you get a little older and start to be like, "Oh, wow. If I would have just gone to therapy before X, Y, and Z, I would have handled it a lot differently." Like, if I would have, and I do wanna call out, I feel like sometimes we're like, "Oh, you go to therapy, you'll heal, whatever." It's like, it's an ongoing journey where, like, you're
Mm,
gonna still mess up, you're still gonna make mistakes. So, like, who's to say that his 30s to 40s would have looked completely different?
mm,
But I do think it could have looked s significantly different, and, like, at least he would have had reflection time maybe between all of these relationships to be like, "Wait, what am I doing?" And he would have been processing that with a therapist who could have been like, "What kind of validation are you getting out of these relationships? What
mm.
is the motive? What is encouraging you, and why? Like, where's that coming from?" Um, and I do think that's, like, helpful even as we continue on with our lives. If you've exited therapy, if you've, like, graduated, as some say, if you've, like,
Mhm,
stopped, then to still apply those skills to your everyday life so that you don't all of a sudden get to 40 and be like, "Whoa, my last decade was insane. I should have gone to
mm,
therapy before that." Because that's just not the goal. And we can always make excuses that we're too busy, we're too this, we're too that, to prioritize it. It's like, you don't want to look back on your life like this and be like, "Well, I'm thankful for these things." It probably wasn't the vibe.
yeah,
Want to be able to live in the moment, feeling confident and good and at peace with the decisions you're making, and with the trajectory of your life. And if you don't feel like that right now, then, like, maybe that's somewhere to search your heart and, like, to take to prayer and maybe take to therapy so that you can actually in the present feel like, "Oh, I know why I'm making these decisions. I know what feelings I'm getting out of it. I know where I am and where things are going to go if I continue to make go on this path versus this one,"
yeah.
so that you don't just have that moment where you're like, "Oh shoot, what have I been doing?" That's
Maybe
not
this wasn't the
ideal.
move, and
It's not an
Carrie
ideal
said
feeling.
and Cannon said, um, he said at the time he was having children, he thought he would, quote, "figure it out," unquote, along the way.
Mm, yeah.
Lately, that includes family counseling sessions with some of his children, he said. Um, so I just feel like there is really not a lot to be said besides for those that are listening. You might be someone that is single, just doing you, whatever, living life, working, job. You might be someone that's not, you have people to support. You might be some single with people to support. You might be only making decisions for your family or yourself, whatever it is. You kind of
Mhm.
might be living in hustle life. Whatever it is, it's okay to also kind of admit to yourself that you can't necessarily figure it out along the way, and there might be things that you need to kind of stop and pause and think about before you keep on moving, because life will
Mhm.
keep happening. But like you said, is it great to kind of look back and be like, man, I wish I just would have like taken a deep breath at that point, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So God bless Nick Cannon though for acknowledging like, hey, he said, I think I'm done. I think I'm good having any more children. And I think I just kind of want to focus on the 12 that I have and being the healthiest person that I can be. He was also granted, he was also recently diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. So that's also
Not exceptionally shocking, yeah.
kind of a little blurb right there. I think he talks about being frivolous and just kind of thinking because he had money, he could take care of kids and they really didn't need anything else. So that's a conversation in
Yep.
itself. Yeah. And, and I just, but shout out to Nick for just kind of being like, hey, I didn't make a mistake. These children weren't a mistake. However,
This
I
was maybe not the move. Yeah.
maybe not the move. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So don't forget to look out for yourself, address your trauma maybe before you have 12 kids. So,
Yeah, or maybe even before one. Just on the front end, you know?
or maybe just before you have your first kid, maybe just like take a little look at things that
Yeah,
you're
just
having a hard
start
time with.
because it's hard, man.
It is really. It is really. Speaking of people with kids, for our final story, we're going to talk about people that not only have kids, but have grandkids and
May have
maybe great
grandkids.
grandkids. The new season of The Golden Bachelor premieres actually this evening as we're recording this. And the
Can't
new
wait.
Golden Bachelor is Mel Owens. Yes, that Mel Owens, who, if you're all caught up in the know, weeks ago you might have heard, or weeks ago, a couple months ago, he had a little bit of a controversy where he said that he does not want anyone over the age of 60, anyone with any
Ooh,
fake hips or fake hair. So,
I don't
again,
love.
Again, the audacity of it all is astounding. He did apologize and ask for forgiveness, and so that is that.
Okay.
And also, let's look up how old he is because I would like to know that. He is
Well, all of the
66.
women are over 60.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry you didn't get your wish, Mel. Real bummer here. But they are stunning
They all
women.
are very stunning and very accomplished. I would love for us
Yeah,
to just take a little gander down because I have my guesstimations for how this is going to be, and I'm just going to make a guess as to how this whole thing's going to round out, just
I
purely based
love.
on the Golden Bachelor
Okay,
page,
just yeah,
just
yeah.
based.
Sorry. Yeah, just pick one that you think is gonna win. Just looking
Honest to
at it,
God, just based on like just
or just
looking.
that you like, that you think is gonna
Yeah.
be your favorite.
I honestly feel like it could be Peg. Now, Peg
Okay, let me see
is
her.
from Las Vegas. Now, check this. She
Okay,
is a retired firefighter and bomb technician. Okay.
that's
Like,
cool.
think of someone
She's
more
also
interesting.
gorge.
She's gorge. Think of someone more interesting than that. Now, some fun facts about Peg. Peg's favorite form of transportation is her unicycle, of course, because she's quirky. Peg is
She's
happy
so
that
fun.
bell bottoms are making a comeback, and she would love to play in the mud with baby elephants. She's so
Oh my gosh,
silly.
yes, same.
Yes. So she was also a single mom. She is a single mom.
Cute.
And she raised her daughter Dakota. Honestly, I feel like I feel like as I was scanning the kind of careers of all the ladies,
Yes,
not only are all of them gorgeous, but I just kind of locked into the fact that that's literally an insane job to have,
it's
and
insane.
someone would be very intrigued to be with someone like that. So I feel like she's gonna take it all. How about you?
It's so true. Okay, well, the person that I'm most excited to see, one of our dear friends sent me this. She is from Lafayette, Louisiana,
Oh,
where my husband is
yes.
from. So she's an interior designer. I love this little bio. Says, when she's not working as a designer, Tracy loves attending horse races, crawfish boils, and college football games. Don't we all,
Ooh,
Trace?
don't we all? Yeah.
She also loves hats. She owns over 100 hats. So I'm
Yeah,
kind of invested to see where that story, that's they're gonna make that her whole personality.
for sure.
Um, Her style icon is Audrey Hepburn. Like, it's really giving. Now, I do fear we are giving Mel too much credit based on what we've heard. And I do think, not to typecast anyone, but that he's going to more so go for like a Nicole who kind of looks like she's in her 20s, but is actually 64. But she really looks exceptionally young. She's a yoga instructor in Miami Beach, Florida. You know the type. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
She went to culinary school. She's been vegan for 19 years. It says Nicole can do a headstand and the splits. Those are her three descriptors. It does kind of feel like this might be more who he might be looking for. It
Mhm,
says Nicole is a
mhm.
huge advocate for a healthy aging and truly believes you can live to the fullest at any age.
So he's gonna be like,
You
"She's really
know,
fun, she's giving
she's
young."
got all her real knees. It's just
Yeah,
different.
and
I think
he's
that
gonna
might be
kinda
more
you
his
know what?
aesthetic.
That's a great point, and there are
So,
some ladies, like, there's this lady I was immediately drawn to, her name is Diane, she's from Alaska, she's a librarian, and she is quite literally so cute. Um,
so cute, but that
she's
is
so cute,
not
but I do
gonna
not
be his
see it
aesthetic.
because the
No.
way that she's so stable, she looks like someone I mean, she's stunning. She looks like someone that you would wanna sit, have kind of a slow, chill drink with on your porch, and she would tell
Yes.
really good stories, and then you guys would go to Nordstrom Rack together, and she would just be chill, and maybe the most exciting thing she's done is go on a riverboat cruise down her local, like, river in her small town,
Mhm.
and,
$100%.
that kinda seems like where she's at,
Yeah.
but I do
That's not
feel
his
that
pace.
Mel would go with someone that's like, "I do handstands, yoga, I get full
Yeah.
body scans every year, I'm 100% healthy. In fact, I could have a kid right now at 64, but I will not." Like, I feel
No,
like he
totally. Like,
he would
Mel's a
go for
lawyer in
someone like
LA
that.
who played in the NFL. Like, let's think
Yeah.
about who this
Yeah.
isn't Gary. Like, let's
Yeah.
think about who
This
we're,
isn't
talking about
Gary.
here. This isn't
Yeah.
Gary.
He would I feel do feel, and I agree that Mel would go for someone extremely exciting in that way, where they're just constantly moving, and that Miami type might just be his vibe. Um, he does
We'll
say
see,
in his
though.
bio, though, he wants the love rooted in the simple joys of companionship.
I hope so.
Sharing
It
life's
better be
everyday
wholesome.
moments. I am praying because the last Golden Bachelor was very wholesome the entire time,
Yes.
until they definitely broke up at the end, so I am
Yeah, yeah,
hoping that it
totally.
is just as wholesome. So we'll see. For before we dip and let you guys go, for our first rose, who do we think will get the first impression rose?
Ooh. Um, oh, someone's gonna be quirky. Tracy's gonna come with like 100 hats.
Yeah.
Literally just wheeled out. I do think the like firefighter lady's coming dressed in her firefighter outfit.
Oh,
I think
mhm,
everyone's getting very kitschy. I could see it. That's like kind of the thing.
mhm.
Um, so it's hard to say. I feel like I don't have like a first.
I feel like the
This
person that
person's
I
gonna
think
wow
is
him.
going to be Mylene. Mylene is
Hmm.
a casino VIP host, and I do feel like she's gonna come dressed up like one of those casino baddies, and
Well,
she's
you are
gonna come with
so right.
little coins, and she's gonna, like, make
Yeah,
him flip a coin and something like that, and then he's gonna be like, "You took my breath away. Can I gamble for your heart and give you this
but that's
rose?"
so true.
And it's gonna be something like that. Also, she's stunning. Everyone is stunning. So,
Everyone
I
is
just
really beautiful.
yeah, and she cooks traditional Filipino food. So, I honestly she might even just bring him some, like, freaking pancit or something, and
Yeah,
then
and
who
then he's
knows?
gonna be like, "You know what?
Yeah, because I would marry her too. So, you know what? I
That's
don't know.
so true." I'm
So,
excited
we'll
to
see.
see if you're right. I'm
So we'll
excited.
see. We'll see you guys. So we'll update next week. We'll review episode 1 and see what our thoughts are and see if
Stay tuned.
Chanel was right and see if there's a connection because I honestly think that Peg's going to sweep. I think Peg's going to sweep the conversation, the whole competition or Nicole. It's either Peg or
I
Nicole,
know.
to be
Mhm.
honest. So
All
let's
right,
see.
well, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Now we have something to look forward to while the world can be a little depressing, but thank God.
We are not.
Thank
Have a
God.
great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.